love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love. We come together. 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 In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Feel the love and the unity.
Feel the love and the unity.
Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, kinship unite in honor of God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love and the unity.
Feel the love and the unity.
Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come
We
together.
come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love. The name of love. All right.
I'm 2 beats off today. Of course, some would say I'm 2 beats off every day. But what does Stephanie know? No drum thing for that? Badum? Got real quiet in here all of a sudden. All right, so welcome to you all. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow. I am the spiritual director, senior minister, whatever label you want to put on there, here at our Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, the North San Fernando Valley, where we are live streaming to you and with you, and joined by our Reverend Nancy Woods, our assistant minister, and Ken is our music director, and we'll let him make the introductions later, but we do have a special musical treat in store for you. So before we get there, let's all take a big conscious breath and release. And in that release, just allowing ourselves to surrender to this moment, just setting aside the worldly clamors, the concerns of the day, of the week, and just claim this time as our own as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy gently lights the healing candle, we place into the light, speaking aloud or silently in your own heart, we place into the light the names of anyone or any country you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
So in recognition of this divine presence, this flame of truth that is within each and every one of us, we step into this opportunity to share an hour of bringing that awareness into a conscious experience with each other. As we open our hearts and our minds and allow that spiritual presence that is manifested today. And it flows forth in every aspect, the music, the words, and just the energy that we share and exchange with each other. And that is connected to it in any way. Feels and understands and becomes more aware and expanded in being the divine truth of life. So, as we take it in such a way that it is consciously felt by each and every one, we express our appreciation as we welcome an opportunity, an understanding, and an awareness that God is truly all that there is, that the one divine presence, one power, one giver of all, one creator. And as we join together in knowing this, I welcome each one to step into this awareness with me and with each one of us as we say yes to life And together we acknowledge this and its awareness and its understanding as we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm smiling because I had one idea that I was going to share today. And something tells me to share something else. All right. I have decided to step into an experience of doing an online Zoom class, and it's going to be about consciousness. And as I was speaking to treatment, I realized that perfect, as Ken describes it, that perfect light within, it truly is a light. It is where the source of life springs forth into expression. And to the extent that I can be in alignment with that, things just flow. And that alignment, I'm beginning to recognize it. It comes in degrees as the awareness of life comes in greater degrees of understanding this. I mean, we know this light exists. We know its presence. But lining our thinking and our awareness up so that it flows through this loving energy is what this journey seems to be about today. And so what I was thinking, it came up more than once in the last few weeks. I've been doing this book with a group on the spiritual healing. And I realized that more than ever, terminology can sometimes trip us up because all the people in the group, they are from different some of them are from different spiritual backgrounds. And when we begin to define what we are talking about, it brings home a greater awareness that the terminology, and when I look at all these different spiritual teachings, we all are going for that presence. We all are reaching to know that it is in us. We all are on this path. And one of the things that really comes through from all the teachers and each one of these teachings is that they tell us that it is all right to be where we are right now, to be able to just understand and be able to embrace ourselves just where we are. And knowing that that is a divine place to be because of who and what we are. Being an expression of spirit really is the essence of what we are reaching for. It is the good, it is the beauty of life that we're reaching for. But the most powerful thing is that we are already that. We're already, and everything that we do and experience and create and express in life is kind of nudging us a little bit more into the awareness of this. And I am so grateful because so many times when I am trying to bring myself back into alignment, I start thinking that I have to do something. And then all of a sudden it occurs to me, just be quiet. Stop, be still, and do nothing but let it be. And it works. It works. I mean, every teaching tells us to be still and to be silent. Every historical book of spirituality reminds us of this. And we are some doing people. We believe in doing. But this divine presence tells us, being still. That light within is shining so bright that it will light the way of which step to take next. It will light the way of which word to express. It will light the way for which activity to step into. And so when I think about that, and I think about all these things that have happened to me recently, and the experience of sharing the understanding of spiritual healing, and the choice to step into a class that says that I am consciousness. And all of this unfolds in an atmosphere in which I am recognizing that this is a spiritual path. And everybody, all of us are on it. And each one of us are doing it our way. And that is fine. That is the perfect way to be. And me recognizing it is one more step forward for me. I just hope I don't take too many back. But, but that is a step forward. And thank you for letting me see.
Morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Please welcome Mr. Jason Goldstein on the keyboards today. All right, Jason. And we are always pleased to have a fantastic singer. It's always fun to have her here. Please welcome Miss Lily Passero.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me back. I love singing here. Yeah. I never thought that you would be the one to hold my heart, but you came around and you knocked me off the ground from the start.
Oh, wow. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Put my arms around me. I was just thinking, when I read that thing with Mother Mary this morning, it was like she was holding me. And I was just, that song was, yes. Very sweet. Thank you. So, the Declaration of Principles. Oh yeah, I'm floating a little bit. Okay, so would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, eternal loving kindness, and the giveness of life to all.
I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Here we go. My God is so. My God is so. My God is so good to me.
All right. Bass, drums. Hey, the man of the hour filling in there. Nice job. And thank you, Lily. That was lovely as always. Nice to have you here. And you know, Mother Mary, Reverend Nancy is very dear to Italian girls, you know, right? Yes. We grew up with that stuff. Yes. All right, so it's good to have you with us here today. But before we get started, do you remember that song from the Cal Seals? I love the flower girl. All right, so everybody at home, just look at these flowers right up here. And everybody say it right now. I love the flower girl. So I keep forgetting to mention those the folks with that commitment that they have kept up for 14 months without anybody giving them any love, but we're sending it to them right now. And maybe we'll make that a regular part of the service. No, I don't know. All right, so it's good to have you here with us. It's also, in case you don't know, today is Easter Sunday in the Orthodox Christian tradition. So our friends over at St. Nicholas, remember when we had our 50th over there? They're celebrating Easter today, along with our Armenian neighbors. And so we're wishing them a happy Easter Sunday, and that's also for Russian Orthodox and all the other Orthodox Christian traditions. So happy Easter to those who celebrate on this day. And for us today, we're going to be speaking to a holy uprising. That is the theme for the month, and our talk title today is This Adventure Called Life. This adventure called life. So a holy uprising. So this is a new month, a new theme, a new congregational song. Everything's new. So, and just so it's said, this uprising is not like what we've been saying over the last year or so. Not that, but rather a holy uprising from within that raises us to a sense of wholeness with the one and with each other. So it's a joyous time of celebration. And I love this photo. This is from India. I love this. It's from Hollyfest, but it's this beautiful intergenerational celebration from their tradition, celebrating spring and love and so forth. That was earlier in the year. But isn't that a great picture? All the colors and everyone's so joyous. So even in this time, even as we witness the suffering of others around the pandemic, there does seem to be an upwelling of energy ready to find an outlet for expression. An upwelling both pushing and propelling us into the next adventure. So this year we've been visioning, we've been imagining what that next great yet to be is to be in form, and there is within all of us, I think, a sense of a holy uprising that's calling us to set off on an adventure of some kind. Now, to set off on an adventure can mean different things to different people. So if you happen to be Frodo and Samwise, or J.R. Tolkien, he'll say that it's dangerous business going out of your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there is no knowing where you might be swept off to. To others, to go on an adventure is about taking on risks. This is what happens when your yoga teacher has been off for 14 months from teaching yoga class. She goes looking for a bungee jumping thing. I thought that was funny. I guess it's not. All right, for some folks, what looks like incredibly risky behavior is just another day at the office. So I love this photograph of the guys up on the girder. This is the Rockefeller Center being built back in the 30s. And then, of course, there's this poor forlorn fellow on the end here with his empty bottle because he's at the end of the line and the bottle's empty, poor guy. So, in the midst of plenty, humanity lives in want because of fear. And to overcome fear is the greatest adventure in the mind of man. To overcome fear is the greatest adventure in the mind of man. So whether it's bungee jumping or even just venturing out into a restaurant, adventure these days can mean different things to different people. And so further in the modern world, whether it's the 1930s or even in fiction, the word adventure itself often has a sense of risk attached to it. But when we actually look at the word adventure, it has a Latin root, advenire, which means to arrive. Adventure means the root of adventure means to arrive. So this fits perfectly with Ernest Holmes in one of his titled radio shows that he did back in the 50s that was entitled self-reliance and your adventure, where he claims that God is our adventure. God is our adventure. Now, I was struck by how that song that you sang could be exactly that. Because I don't know about you, but my path, my dance with the divine has been very much, where the hell are you? I thought we were getting something going, right? And now you've gone on tour somewhere. So what am I supposed to do with that, right? And yet we stay with it. As people of faith, we stay with that because we recognize that there's no tour out there, that the tour is within. So, God is our adventure. So this journey involves an expanded awareness that in spirit there is no risk, no failure, no uncertainty. And still, in the world of form, risk, failure, uncertainty are precisely the obstacles that we must often work with. This is the grist for the mill, as they say. That this is what we must often work with in this world of form and to overcome so that we can be our most effective in life. And I say most effective because many of us are effective in many areas of our life. But we all have that one little spot that we would like to raise a bit, get a little more air, spiritual air in that one tire. So it is with an awareness of oneness, of faith, and our active participation that the spiritual adventure unfolds through the divine urge that is inherently and eternally calling us into our greater yet to be. And we must be open then to the divine impulse of life and its deeper calling to us. So, this is also from Tolkien, when Bilbo is saying to Frodo that the wide world is all about you, that you can fence yourselves in, but you cannot forever fence it out. And I'm sensing out there in the world today, and even within our own community, that there is an inner urge in our minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to ever widen our experience. That this persistent, there we go. Right? There. That's the now. So let me read this with you again. There is an inner urge in our minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to ever widen our experience. And Holmes goes on to say, this persistent urge is a divine influence, an irresistible force, and constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. This persistent urge is a divine influence, an irresistible force, and constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. Now, considering that, when you say or recite, let's call it the motto of this teaching, which is, there is a power for good in the universe, available to everyone, and we can use it, right? There is a persistent urge in the universe. It is a divine influence, an irresistible force available to everyone. It constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience, and we can use it. We can use it. It is important. It's important that we identify with it when it wells up within us, and not to just dismiss it, but to entertain, where is this? This is coming from somewhere deeper within me. What is this? What does it mean? That we must allow ourselves to gently capture that notion, that idea, maybe an emotion or a sense, and then to cultivate it with gentle attention and quietly listen for what it, capital I-T, it, right? The I behind the I, what it wants to tell us within its gentle whispering within. And then, even then, to know that it's not enough just to think. It's not enough to be the idea guy. I hear that one all the time. I'm the idea person. I need people to take my ideas into fruition. That's not how it works, man. If only, right? Every church would have 10,000 people in it, regardless of denomination, if it was just about having a big idea that other people do, right? It's not enough to simply think or to imagine or scheme or set an agenda. We must get into action. And so when we have this inner calling, I think a helpful question to ask then, when we're considering what is that next step, is to see where opportunities of service to others lie. Where is the call to service within my vision? Where is the call to service? Where is the call to action within this deeper wellspring of knowing, longing to make itself known in the world of form? And we've been talking about this stuff a lot, right? To remember, as St. Teresa of Avila said, that we are the hands. We are the hands of the divine that doeth the work in this world of form. The divine impulse is what's giving us the nudge, or sometimes the get out there and get her done, son. So in this vision for our expanded life, how am I called to serve? How am I called to serve in my family, in my relationship, on the job, in my community, even in the world itself? So it's like Reverend Nancy's old teacher, Raymond Charles Barker, asked the question, or it just makes the point, that you and I are the present becoming the future. Did you ever hear him say that, Rev? She said, she's nodding her head, yes. I would think he'd be hammering that one, right? Isn't it true that we are you and I are the present becoming the future? That we are within each one of our individualized expressions of the one, we are all evolving into this greater yet to be. So free from comparing, free from uncertainty, risk, fear, or even judgment of ourselves or of others, free of all that stuff. What are we being called to do? How are we being called to serve? Now, it's interesting, Deepak Chopra has been doing some things with this fellow named Manas Kafatos, and I'm probably mangling his name, but he's a physicist. And so they've been working together and working some things out. This guy Kafatos has been in the field of of physics his entire career. And it's interesting because they're sharing, they've shared this week, that every day our actions exist on the cutting edge of evolution, the frontier where the mind is caught between caution and curiosity. And boy, is that really true right now or not? Caught between caution and curiosity. I mean, for 14 months, we're afraid to go outside without a mask on, right? And even though you've been vaccinated, wear a mask. Stay away from everybody. It's like we're all living in this Monty Python movie. Stay away, run away, right? But we're not. We're living in the life of our own design and our own creation. And I'm not saying to, run amok recklessly. I'm not saying that, because public health is consciousness also. I'm just saying that we want to do life consciously, free of fear, free of being shackled by uncertainty, free of living in the tension between caution and curiosity, and move more into curiosity. To remain curious, to remain spiritually curious. So we've captured, visioned, imagined, even consciously stepped into this field of infinite possibilities, and perhaps we're experiencing some resistance. Well, what to do then? So this physicist encourages us to step up and to know that this is a participatory universe that depends for its very existence on human beings. This is a physicist saying this. It's a participatory universe that depends for its very existence on human beings. Now, mind you, not all physicists are thinking this way, but there is a movement within the field of physics to consider such things. So this guy, Kafatos, has been thinking, speaking, and writing about this kind of stuff for a while now. We'll explore that later at another time. But what I think is important to understand is that physicists are just starting to scratch the surface of a new adventure in mind of what it is to be human, and even bringing into the philosophical, exploring the ways from the philosophical considerations that can sense, that philosophical sense. So can the systems of materialism, of utilitarianism, of idealism, and metaphysics, can all of these be valid simultaneously? So if you're a student of philosophy, that is actually a big deal question. So the lads Deepak and Manos write, there is only something that we've known for a while, and that mystics have been teaching through millennia, that there's only one reality and not two. There is no inner and outer, no me and you, no mind and matter. The mind has stopped conceiving of reality and now starts living it. And when we're living from that place, life is a joyous expression. You think this guy's having a good day? Yeah. So this is, of course, the basis of what we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. This idea that there's only one reality and not two. There is no inner, no outer. There is no mind and matter, that it's all one thing. There is only one power, one presence, one source, one life, one living intelligence, one divine impulse, one creative genius, one wellspring of love itself, both impressing and expressing itself in, through, and as all of life, including as you and as me. That everything that we know within this universe, in the ways that we know it, in the ways that we don't know it, in the ways that it is seen, in the ways that it is unseen, is one thing. So it's a big deal to know the truth for life. To know that we are co-creating this experience of life with this infinite, ineffable, sometimes even undefinable source that we can oftentimes sense but cannot grasp. It's the one who seems to step away and yet is always there. Right? And when we have the courage and strength and faith in our convictions of knowing this truth and speak our word with authority into the universe, however you want to call this living spirit, that as the law of its own being, it cannot be returned void. So when we pray for our brothers and sisters in India as they're working through their surge, as we pray for world leaders to raise up all of these countries that are facing this illusion of scarcity, that we know that there is abundance of all the material needed in the material world and in consciousness to bring forth and to call forth a healing modality at every level of life, that even now material is being rushed to these centers globally. That we know that it is a distribution issue and not a scarcity issue. And so that we are all stepping up in consciousness and in whatever ways needed to be done, but we can help propel all of this along by just, in fact, let's call the musicians up right now. We'll let Jason give us some inspiration underneath the next notion. And so let's just take a deep breath right here. As we know together that there is one power, one presence, one source, one ineffable presence of life itself, making itself known in, through, and as this manifest universe, that we are the individualized expression of this one. And so in this moment, we are knowing for our brothers and sisters in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in all of these areas that are suffering from this so-called surge, that we are knowing that everything that is needed to produce a successful outcome of radiant good health in all of its forms is being produced now. That we are knowing a sense of resilience and resistance for those expressing as good health. That there is a consciousness of love for the other that allows an expression of public health to make itself known. That all of the increase of the Western world is making itself to these various places where the need is great, for we recognize and know that it is an abundant universe, that scarcity is a distribution problem and not the nature of the universe. And so we set into motion right now through this movement of thought in the field of mind, known as an affirmative prayer. We take a deep conscious breath and release with deep gratitude and confidence, knowing it is done, knowing it is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And our eyes up, our eyes like the day, our eyes up, our eyes unafraid, our eyes up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And our eyes up, high like the waves, our eyes up, in spite of the ache, our eyes up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. We'll take it to its feet and move mountains. And our eyes up, our eyes like the day, our eyes up, our eyes unafraid, our eyes up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. For that we have each other. For that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise again. We will rise again. Our eyes up, rise like the day, our eyes up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up, in spite of the ache, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you,
Lily Passaro, everyone. Let's give her some love on the chat. So make sure you check it out later. I'm sure there's lots of little notes on there to you. So that was lovely. Thank you. Yes, we rise up. Yeah. Stand up for our rights. Oh, that's a different song. Sorry. All right. So, all right. Oh, I forgot something. it's time for our offering, time for us to practice generosity. There are many ways in which you can do that. If you're on the website, you can see the donate button there. It'll take you to our PayPal terminal, which looks like this. Or if you're on your phone, you can give her a few swipes and hit that donate button. Actually, I think it comes up now right on the I haven't even looked at it myself, so you tell me. But it'll take you to the PayPal portal. And if you're on YouTube, it's that little icon at the far right that you can barely see. And then if you're on the Facebook page, of course, there's a nice big button. And Facebook doesn't charge us for that, believe it or not. Isn't that nice of Mr. Zuckerberg? We appreciate that. Or you can continue to mail in your donations, which we deeply appreciate. Of course, the easiest way is bill pay when you're paying the rest of your bills. I guess I could take this off. And so with that, the lads will take us into our offering song.
3, 4. Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives through you, Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Yeah.
So going within for just a moment longer, recognizing and knowing that this basket represents all the many forms of giving, however your generosity and your donations show up here, that we all recognize together that they are the evidence of our conviction that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so through the generous heart of the individual represented by this basket, we, as spiritual community, both here in the room and online, accept these gifts with deep appreciation, love, and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this particular center and this online effort, but for all of our friends here. We're extending this blessing to our friends here in Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people that support them, for our planet as well, that we know that all of it is an emanation of the one thing, of God and nothing else. And so we cultivate that notion of which is ours to do, and we lovingly, compassionately, and powerfully and confidently step into that joyous expression of life. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So please help me thank Miss Lily Pacero one more time for her gift of music, and her beloved Mr. Jason Goldstein. Nicely done. I could feel the love with each tinkle of the keys. Very nice. Yes. It was very sweet. And, of course, our music director, Mr. Ken Francis. And then we have the lads in the back, Evans on sound, Mr. Michael Carlin, who I'm trying to figure out how to, make him some kind of quasi-minister for all the stuff he does around here, but maybe he doesn't want that. Okay, so thank you, everyone, and have a great week. Take it away, Rev. Nice to see you, too. Thank you. Yes, all right. And Mother Mary.
So, once again, we take the opportunity to be grateful and appreciate the spirit of life and all that it pours through us, for us, as us. And in this recognition of this wondrous presence that has given us this opportunity, that has blessed us with the beauty of this experience, that has gifted us with life itself, free and clear. And so as we know this and we go forth from this moment, in recognition of the oneness of life and knowing that there is but one, there is only that divine perfection unfolded and expressed as our health, our wealth, our love, and our joy of being. And as we continue to create our lives anew out of this wondrous energy of life, we say that we are grateful together for the time and energy that we have spent in this moment, this hour together, and know that we walk forward from this moment knowing a greater expression of truth. The blessings are many, and we step into the joy of experiencing. So together, we pull our energy towards the gratitude consciousness as we let it be a united one, as we say together, and so it is.
Please join us at home in singing the peace song. A 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. A peace that was meant to be, with God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take